And we are underway here with the first series of the day. TNC and Fnatic, a best of 3 elimination on the line. The way we like it. We have TNC on the Radiant side. We have got Fnatic on the Dire side. First couple of bans already in there. And I'm looking to hear from you guys what we were expecting in terms of heroes, because yesterday the story was, and we heard it from Poppy afterwards as well, especially in the Fnatic series, we realized it was all about fighting and being able to take fights. And that should be the lesson learned from yesterday for both of these squads.
Yeah, most likely. I mean, you always want to make sure that you're able to fight, you know, your enemy. In this game for Fnatic, I'm kind of looking for them to pick up their IO again, most likely. They did ban out the Disruptor, which is a pain to play against right now, especially this Disruptor Naga. It just seems like the best combo to open your draft with. It's easy to play. It has, they're just strong in their lanes too.
It's going to be good the entire game, exactly. Yeah. They take out the Viper.
Okay, we have a lot of heroes left out in the pool.
We have a lot. We got Doom, we got IOs.
Yeah, both offlaners, right? Yeah. So they're going to be like, okay, we're going to take IO, this like really high value support, because we can get Omni or Doom if we want to. We can also pair it up with a Gyrocopter if we want.
I really like TNC taking the IO here, especially because of Fnatic's bans. I think it's highly likely that Fnatic were actually hoping to pick up IO themselves here on 8-9, judging from both their Disruptor and Wyvern ban, which are 2 great heroes against it. So I think TNC, if this wasn't their plan, this is very nice adjustment by them to first pick the hero.
The Crystal Maiden first pick. The people do like those frosty heroes. We got Liches and Winter Wyverns and Crystal Maidens.
Yeah, did we see her at all yesterday? I know we've seen her a little bit this tournament.
We didn't see her yesterday, I believe, unless it was in the last series of the day, which I wasn't able to watch. No. But we mostly saw her during the group stages, and mostly from the Western teams.
I mean, what's good, what's bad about this here? Obviously, the aura is always going to be good. You secure your range creep for the most part. Like, why has it fallen off so much, do you think? Because it was picked a lot last major.
For me, it's like, why this hero as opposed to different 5 position? Why this instead of Lich?
Yeah, right? Honestly, I'm not quite sure about that either. Honestly, I think the CM, it just gives you some good AoE. Maybe they're scared that they're going to pair up this IO with a PL, maybe Slark. I think CM is pretty good against those heroes. CM used to be even better against PL, I think, with the new Abyssal Blade. You know, all these carries, they buy Bashers earlier and Abyssals, so your BKB ult isn't as good as it used to be.
I can tell you when Fnatic played Crystal Maiden Doom before, they have played it in the group stages against Aster. They had Crystal Maiden for Jabs, they had a Doom for Ice Ice Ice. But it was with a PL, a Bat, and a Lion, and I don't know if there's anything in specific that you think like, oh, it's really good with X hero.
Not really, that's a strange, just you saying that draft out loud is kind of a strange draft in its own.
I do like Kezu's explanation though of like the fear of what cores they're picking up. Just because, like, Lich is really effective against the, like, Chain Frost with an IO, right? He's tethered. It's literally just a perfect, like, okay, just bounce back and forth between the two. But if they're not getting, like, if they're not getting a Gyrocopter, you know, if they're getting a PL or Slark, then Chain Frost isn't nearly as effective. And I really like TNC's choice of just picking up the Omni because we have so many options in what to pair with the IO. We don't have to show that card yet. Let's just get one of the best offlaners in the pool, a pretty solid counter to Doom. These sustained offlaners are always so annoying for Doom to play against because he feels like he has to Doom him rather than Dooming one of the carries.
No, I totally agree. 2 heroes that Fnatic could be looking for in the next phase, I think one of them would be Grimstroke. It's good against IO especially. It's very good with Doom, especially when there's an Omni, so it makes it even easier to maybe you get to Doom the IO on his partner or the Omni. Another hero could be Timbersaw, so potentially they may ban out a hero such as perhaps Batrider that would make laning very hard for the hero. Of course, you have IO Omni, which are already not that great against Timbersaw, and Fnatic do have Ice Ice Ice, and you know, he loves his little Timberman.
Yeah, it's been second phase ban versus. I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't get banned here. And also the Batrider actually got first phase ban, so the very first ban in the entire tournament, or the game.
It's funny, you were talking about who do we look for at these teams, and one name that instantly came up, Fogged and I were talking about it backstage. was Moon. And TNC actually banned away his OD. We think that Moon has actually had kind of a rough tournament. His OD in particular was really lackluster against Team Secret. Felt like it could have been used a lot more effectively. He just really wasn't like getting up the imprisonment charges before dropping his hammer. He just oftentimes was just starting a fight and it just didn't do any damage. And Moon is such like a great mid laner that you expect him to be carrying Fnatic a lot of times, but he's had some hit or miss games for sure.
So do you want to focus on him because you're expecting more from him, or you want to see him set up for success more?
I need him to step up for the series and be able to beat TNC.
All right.
And I mean, this is Doom, right? We have now seen the Doom played in 3 different roles. TNC, the team who actually played it middle, and we've been seeing a lot of teams picking up their cores early, so who knows? This Doom could just be a 4 as well.
It could be for sure.
Because they have been, right? Both these teams have been saving their offlaners for last.
Yeah.
It almost makes me think this Doom is probably a 4.
Depending on the team, like just a general philosophy, if I feel like my hero is countered, I would like to be able to lower it on like the net worth priority, right? Like I feel like I'm not gonna get very effective Dooms unless we see like a Grimstroke, in which case you raise its priority, but otherwise it's like, I'm gonna lower its priority, see if I can play it 4 or 5 if possible.
Mostly from what I've seen, doesn't DJ prefer to play like these range 4s?
He
like
does,
Rastas, Rubiks. Like here, for example, like I said earlier, I think Grim or Rubik could be okay for them. At least if they want to commit the Doom on the 3, if they do feel comfortable with that, then I would see them picking one of those 2 4s here at least.
I would like Grim. I think it's a good hero.
Yeah. Well, they're taking their time right now, so they're obviously not too short. There we go.
There it is. Now you got some decent lanes, right? You got the Doom, Grim, and lane as well. A Crystal main with the Aura. Whoever she's with is going to have a nice lane. And you have the combo now.
It does mean that you now have revealed these are your supports, that's your 3.
Yeah.
Unless they mix it up and it goes mid, which I doubt. I really don't think.
I really hope it's not going to be the case.
It's just the same thing with like Hector, like, oh, Doom, that's solo lane. All right, well,
Well, we didn't see that one again
that
anymore.
one did not work.
No. All right, let's see what TNC wants to get then. Their, I mean, I like their openings, but at the same time, they're not having any disables yet. They don't really have, like, they obviously don't have the pairing with the IO yet, and we did see the Gyrocopter banned out for that.
Yeah, overall heroes that you do like against Grim usually are heroes that can jump. Once again, this is kind of similar to like this Naga Disruptor. Fnatic, they have like a pretty straight up combo, you know, they're gonna try to soulbind and Doom. So you either wanna try to jump one of them, or perhaps you can try to intercept their combo. I'm not quite sure with which hero they'll do it in this game. Heroes that I like to think about when it comes to jumping enemy supports is Storm, but this is not a very easy Storm game.
Oh.
Since I think for now they'll most likely just commit on a support anyhow here on TNC. Probably their... Actually, do they play IO 4 or 5? 5, right?
Yeah.
On TNC?
Or have they even played IO before?
Yeah, they played IO one game, and it was March playing it. In that game, Tims was playing the Disruptor.
And
I would
Tims
imagine
in the past has played some IO.
Yeah, I would imagine that they can swap it
They'll
around
be more
depending on
hard.
what is their
Yeah,
other
okay.
support.
You want, I think you want Tims to be on more of a playmaker in these matchups. Like, so part of the problem with Doom Grimstroke is like a lot of these like Slarks and Phantom Lancers, they're gonna have a tough laning phase. You just kind of inkswell and run at him.
Yeah.
You're forced to always pounce away rather than getting aggressive on the Doom. So that's a bit concerning for me. And then on top of that, like the Soulbind locks you together with somebody. You don't get to abuse that mobility so much. Great answer to Slark too.
Very solid Leshrac pick here. It's also open. I don't know if they can play it in the safe lane too, but he can go mid, he can go safe lane. He's great against Slark and he's great against Omni. You don't really care about any Omni spells as you're purely magical and AoE.
You know, just from the start of Fnatic's draft, I felt like they were just trying to build up lots and lots of damage, and it just continued that way, right?
Yeah.
It's like TNC's going to go for the sustain lineup, but we're just going to have so much damage it won't matter. They won't get a chance to get their spells off. And that, as a result, means that Fnatic also doesn't have any saves for their Leshrac, which is always a little bit dangerous. But right now, they've just got the tempo. They should be ahead a lot of the times. Just seeing as you got slower heroes like Omni Knight, IO, Slark isn't the fastest either.
Has TNC played Shadowfiend? Okay, they're gonna pick Earthshaker, so that is the Tim's hero.
Yep. Give you some team fight, give you some re-engage. You have the IO Slark, obviously go in. You have an Earthshaker behind him now, which is nice.
No, it's solid. I also like to play Shaker with Slark quite a lot, especially in nighttime. He gives you good vision. He kind of goes in for you, so he can set you up in team fights, but you can also set up the IO Slark around ganks in the game.
I think
So
TNC.
solid pick.
Sorry, like you were talking about SF. I think TNC played side lane SF and like a mid puck or something like that. I think it might have been them, but you're looking at just like you just want a good solid like single target physical damage.
Yeah, I would
right?
like
That just,
a
beats
sort
down
of
Lash.
timing hero, you know, mid-game hero that can go with the team, maybe pressure some buildings. I also think he's fine in the lane against Lesh. And I think another thing you're looking for is that this last pick buys a BKB. Even if you get doomed on SF, you can right-click, perhaps you get BKB Requiem off, and it's really good against these Fnatic heroes. None of them have any magic immunity, so Requiem should be pretty solid for them if they do pick up the SF.
Yeah, you're right, Cap. They've played it once before, and it was Gabi that came playing it.
And they did play it side lane, yeah?
They played it on the
Side lane SF.
safe lane.
Interesting.
That's
I like it.
Yeah.
Creative.
You like it?
Yeah.
I mean, they
saw
didn't
some
win.
people trying it out.
They did not win?
They did not win.
Someone else did it and they won.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. Maybe Alliance? Who knows?
All right, we got a Lina band out on the side of Fnatic. And TNC looking for their mid hero. They know it's probably going to go up against Leshrac.
yeah, more than likely. I mean, Moon's favorite hero. They ban out the Naga. That's the thing. 23 Savage having another great tournament, right? He went through that whole SCA at TI with how do you pronounce the name? Genespris?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Genius Bros. Yeah.
There's not, yeah, something like that.
The
like,
made-up
and he-
word, basically.
Yeah, he looked good. He moved up, and like people, this thing, right? He is kind of like that new pub stars feeling like, is he gonna be as good as he was then, or is it a one-time thing? And after we saw Secret, he's definitely there. Nice call, Kezu.
Good call.
Got
On
it.
a roll. Close it out, Kezu.
You have to pick this one,
Yeah.
or else you can never come back on panel again.
Oh dear.
Oopsie daisy, all right. Well, also Fnatic, they're kind of open. I could pick a mid or safe laner here. I guess it's most likely that this Lesh is in the mid role. So I need a safe laner. Let's see, what stuff is banned out?
I can tell you we still have in the pool of heroes that 23 Savage has picked. Medusa, PL, AM.
What about more catch and team fight? What about Kunkka and then side lane Lash?
I don't
Chewing
like
on that one.
I don't like it too much.
Okay.
I don't know, something sour about that Kunkka.
Okay,
I don't dig it.
I don't have the same kind of refined taste buds that it
Yeah,
has.
it's fine.
I have to.
Could you anti-mage here? I'm not sure. Seems a bit slow. But PL is also hard to play. There's both Shaker and SF AoE.
Oh.
This doesn't seem too easy of a last pick to make, to be honest. I think this is gonna come down more to their comfort of their carry player here.
Yeah.
I'm having a kind of a hard time seeing like what exactly they want.
Yeah, and you talked about they just have no saves.
Yeah.
On Fnatic, they actually have 0 saves besides probably a Glimmer Cape on the CM, and if that's all you have, you're
So-
gonna have to just
Got a
run
lot of
over 'em.
ranged nukes. Could you do Void?
I think
Like,
Void,
just to
I think
lock down
Void
flex
is
more?
okay here.
Isn't Void already a little bit countered with the Omni Knight though?
A little.
Maybe.
Not necessarily, just because there's so much magic AoE on Fnatic, so I think they can still pump out some damage. I
Yeah.
feel like they might end up side laning this Leshrac. I feel like they have more options for the mid lane to pick here.
Who would you want to put against the SF then? If you did.
Oh. Perhaps TA? I think they need some physical hero, like some physical damage here. I'm not quite sure. TA?
We go for the life stealer.
Oh, that's a
It is
save
physical
for
damage.
that's a save for Leshrac. I actually really like that,
Yeah.
just for that reason.
Can you explain, Cap?
Infest giving you just raw HP.
Boom.
400,
that?
800, 1200. Is that what?
Something
it is?
like that.
Yeah,
And the
it's like an
rage.
insane amount of
Yeah.
HP later on to the game.
Get the eggs, you're good to go.
Yeah, get the rage.
So DJ, Crystal Maiden. We thought pops off, you get items, you actually do a lot of damage. He's a big part of their team fight.
Yeah.
It comes online pretty fast too. I quite like it. It's just another frontliner. I don't know. TNC is enjoying themselves though. Jesus.
I love it.
That is great. Yeah, we were saying, you know, you just get some hype and they're just hyping each other up. It's great. I do need to hear from you guys who we feel is the favorite. We said before the draft, Fnatic coming in as a favorite on paper. But now that we see the draft, who's it going to be?
I'm on TNC's side. I'm a fan of the Shadow Fiend. I do think that Fnatic have the right answers if they play the early game properly, but I'll prefer to be TNC this game.
Is it only because you couldn't last pick Fnatic's hero? But
Not-
you could call out the Shadow Fiend to your bias? Is that it?
Maybe slightly.
Maybe slightly?
Maybe
Okay.
slightly.
Maybe
Well,
a little
then
bit.
I'll go for Fnatic.
Yeah, I mean, I bet against the Hector Lifestealer. I'm not going to bet against the 23 Savage Lifestealer, so.
Fair enough. Let's find out what's going to happen in the first game of this series with OD Pixel and Fogged.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. A beautiful way to start the day. A bit of SEA action from our two favorite SEA teams, Fnatic and TNC. Good to go this morning. We've had the drafts come in, Fogged. What are you excited to see from this?
I mean, there's Io. Io's in the game. He's always fun to watch, right? Everybody loves to watch Io. Yeah, no. Io's a good fun one, but also there we have a lot of fun combos, right? Fnatic, they do have a lot of ways with their double dooms, Grimstroke combos. Some cool stuff definitely coming into play with that. And we do get to see, we're blessed with a Tim Shaker as well. It may not be like a super flashy game where he's not playing like against all these illusions and stuff like that, but we've seen Tim's play this hero time after time. He loves it. He's lots of fun. And we will, of course, see DJ on the Crystal Maiden. That's another like big highlight one that we did just see brought up there, because he is a lot of fun to watch on that hero.
I mean, overall as well, would you say that certain teams come out on top of the drafts? You know, considering especially like those last picks, is there... Oh, well, DJ. Uh-oh.
That's some Agi.
+1.
+1 right there, right at the start.
Thank you very much, says Gabby.
There's certain things I do like. There's some like nice core matchup things that I do like that I saw on Fnatic's side when they were drafting. Like the, you know, they picked the Leshrac after the Slark, a good hero because you can always deal damage, even though if he does get Shadow Dance. They have the Doom versus the Omni Knight, which is pretty nice too. And then they have Lifestealer versus Shadow Fiend. Like these type of matchups are pretty nice, but the overall aspect, TNC has a pretty damn strong draft. I think this should be a pretty contested game. This should be fun.
Yeah, it does feel like it could be a little hard for Fnatic to really sort of go for the core heroes with the backup that TNC's lineup's going to have, right? The Io, the Omni Knight, they've got some great saves. Even Tim's throwing out a Fisher to sort of separate these heroes. You know, this Lifestealer from trying to get on top of someone could make it pretty tricky in the mid game for Fnatic to run down TNC. Yeah,
that is, I mean, that's definitely true. The sustain is definitely one thing that I have seen a lot of times versus Doom lineups that really kind of makes the hero, I mean, doesn't make the hero bad by any means or anything like that, but makes the hero actually look like he has a weakness. Because you actually can reset and re-engage after the fight because you can heal someone and persist through the Doom. Good positioning for the lane for KP because of that fissure. And he should be able to do a decent amount up here too because of this Earthshaker. If they can get some good fissure blocks like that too, he could actually look to pressure like the Grimstrokes. And again,
DJ! That's another permanent bit of Agi for Gabby.
That's actually bizarre too. Like, was he... Did he go for like a courier or something like that? Was he like,
I mean, it's early morning, you know, maybe had a late night last night. He's just waking up, DJ.
Yeah, I know that. Like, yeah, it's like Gabby got an early Orb of Venom, so maybe that did catch him off guard because CM is slow. But like, what positioning was he standing in that they were actually able to get on top of him and hit him? Definitely a bit of a blunder in that bottom lane at the start there for DJ.
You got to respect that Orb of Venom slot. And off the back of those 2 kills, Gabby's going to be hitting 2 pretty soon. And once that's there, DJ's going to be even more vulnerable. So has to stay on top of this positioning. You know, sure, you are just a support, but feeding kills to the safe lane Slark early on never feels good. Gabby is going to be very, very happy with this.
I did not think Armel would come off to that hot of a start in that first 2 waves. He's 7-4 to the 4-2 Leshrac. I thought Lesh would have a much better time in the first few because Earthshaker wasn't there either at the start. So now Moon, now he's going to be pressured in mid. Earthshaker's going to sit around the area, and they can actually easily set up for these raise plays. Armel's 3 now.
Oh.
Moon has to be very careful how he steps up.
A Fisher and a couple of raises and a right click would do the job if they can get that set up. So Moon has got to respect Tim's. Keep himself on the high ground, not step too far forward.
Man, these lanes are actually looking just much better on the side of TNC, just all across the board. That mid matchup now has completely gone in their favor.
Ice.
And now Ice
is dead.
Another one. Not a permanent agi.
They didn't quite get him whilst but yeah, quick enough after Gabby got the touch in, so. But still, you're giving oh no, well that would.
Pounce 2.
He's gonna have to jump forward. The frostbite is there, and there he goes. Ice will be able to block.
But he'll just hit him anyway. I mean, he's like, okay, just give me some little casual stats so I can back up on the lane. That is...
Gabby's looks scary. This is a
quite a start.
Solid start to the safe lane of TNC. Already 2K lead here at 2 minutes in.
Mid's a disaster. 16-9 to 7-2. And Tim's is just gonna, like we said, he's just gonna sit around the area. Jabs has to do something to kind of alleviate this. And I think you're gonna have to just accept the fact that KP is just gonna get a great lane on the Omni Knight now top if you are this Grimstroke with a Lifestealer in your lane. You have to make sure that Moon doesn't get punished by these rotations from the Earthshaker because it's going to be easy kills. Definitely a concern in these first 3 minutes. It's a 2K gold leader, right?
Yeah, they're getting this advantage. Very, very nicely early on. Ice struggling to hit the creeps because he knows that even as the Doom, it's very hard for him to get in. He's got to sort of hope for a nice neutral creep to go and find.
Yeah, and they can't pressure this lane at all because the thing about CM is you're annoying because you're spamming your spells on somebody, but IO, you just click overcharge afterwards and you have a headdress anyway, so you're actually counteracting all of the damage that's coming up from this lane.
Oh yeah.
And Gabby and Armel are gonna have full free farm, and KP is also, like we said, gonna have a good lane top. He might actually be able to set up for kills if Tim's rotates.
There's the fish, yeah. KP's in on top of Jabs, and with the purification, that's a kill.
Uh-oh.
TNC looking hot this morning. As Moon, it's got to be a little careful there. A couple of raises stacking up. But bottle is full, so has the regen to pump himself back up to pretty much full with those bottle charges.
Fnatic's got to do something to fix these lanes because I think if they just keep these lanes static, it's just going to get worse and worse. So some moves are going to have to be done by the supports. And right away we are seeing DJ, but I think DJ actually just went to go jungle. He's not actually looking to help the lanes. So he's jungling the hard camp of the Radiant side. And now he's looking to actually make a move toward mid, but...
It's going to be hard to do, because Tim's just constantly sat
Look at that.
Around here.
Yep, he's just waiting in position to try to set up for a fissure so they can get these raise plays. They even offensively glyph so they can keep this aggressive move. 13-3 to 20 to 30-13. Armel dominating this matchup.
And this is what, in terms of these heroes, what we'll actually hold that for, because bottom lane Ice.
Whoop.
They're going to dive him. That's another kill. Again, not quite killing him in time to get the Agi buff, but still, it's a dead hero. Gabby knows that he can pick up the permanents pickoffs later.
Lesh in the past used to do, I don't know about now with the matchup, how exactly it is. I think maybe Shadow Fiend does actually just do a lot better now, but Lesh in the past used to have a pretty good matchup because you just spam the lightning on the SF and you secure range creeps, but SF has changed quite a lot since those times, and Armel's definitely proving. And there's also Nurse.
Oh, not again.
Pressure. No, oh no, Ice!
It's just come back to the lane.
And more Agi.
Yeah, this time he will get it, Gabby.
This game is getting disastrous very quickly. 6-0, 3K gold lead, 3 lanes just completely won.
Oh no. Maybe they just didn't get the chance to have their breakfast this morning, Fnatic.
Well, I say completely won. Lifestealer is still free farming, but the fact that Omni is getting he's getting full levels. He's going to be level 5 and he got himself a kill. That is, yeah, this is a concern.
And we have seen the old Lifestealer carry a few games, and there's every reason to believe in him.
But he is versus a Slark. That's the thing. Slark is a very good hero versus him. So, I mean, Shadow Fiend, the thing is, like, Lifestealer is good versus Shadow Fiend for the most part in the games, but if an SF starts to get really, really far ahead, he just is going to hit you with that physical damage quite hard from a distance, and he does have good ways to pull away.
Oh, no. They saw him there with that courier passing over. He's going to hide. He's going to hope. And they won't go hunting for him. Top lane, they'll try and make a play here onto KP. KP got the Heavenly Grace buffing him up as he walks off. And he's going to live. The right click from Jabs, not quite enough to finish him. Mid lane Moon actually seeing an opportunity to run down Armel, and DJ comes in, a big kill. A very, very needed one there for Fnatic as Armel is taken down.
That's wow. I don't know how he got on top. I guess Armel just stepped up a bit too far, and that less track movement speed was able to just close the distance. Okay. 23 Savage, though, with the late infest up top. It feels like they could have actually had KP if he just insta-did it for that burst damage, but...
We'll see what the moves are going to be next for Moon in particular. He's having that slow start in the lane, but you can see after getting that kill, it's not actually that different between them two. You know, 2,800 on Armel's SF, 2,500 on Moon's Lesh. It's not too bad considering how the early CS was going heavily in favor of the Shadow Fiend.
I'm worried about bottom right now, though. Look at Ice. He's just constantly being chased. He's trying to get somewhat of something. He does have the TP, but oh my God.
He's out.
Thank God for the buckler. Trusty shovel, go to Tim's. He's got a lot of downtime in between. Of course, he'll get the Kobold first.
That's best. Yeah, it's going to be a slow start for Ice.
Yeah.
It's only just, I think, still level 3 at the moment. Very close to level 4, but it's a very, very rough beginning for the offlaner. But it seems to be sort of the trend. We see a lot of offlaners at the moment in this meta having some very tough starts. If they end up in these sort of lanes where they're against a matchup that they really struggle to do anything against. And that really was the case here. This Slark IO lane just had so much sustain that there was no amount of bullying that could be done to stop Gabby from having free farm down here.
Yeah, but look at the comparison. KP nearly level 7 compared to a level 4 Doom. I just pulled up the levels myself, and it's across the board, yeah. TNC having a much better distribution of levels across their heroes at the moment. The Lesh is having that high advantage, but you see these supports level 5 on the IO because of these kills they've gotten bottom. They're gonna actually be able to set up relocate plays pretty early on that might catch Fnatic off guard. And also Slark that might have a diffusal blade coming out when that first relocate comes out. Could definitely be quite a thorn in their side.
Oh yeah, he's definitely on track to getting a quick one. Rotation for Tims. Fisher block won't quite be there, but Gabby can still work his way around it. Actually doesn't want to commit. So Ice will live. Tims slightly off the mark there with that Fisher. Doesn't quite get the angle right to block Ice next to the Slark. So the Doom will live another day.
Tim's being super active. We see the wards coming out from the side of Fnatic. Actually just watching the river to try to see Tim's movements. And now DJ, he steps up far.
Yeah, it's going to have TP backup coming in. We'll see if they can take down DJ. The first raise off the mark. DJ finally falls, but look who's there. There's the backup, the save. And they go March, trying to heal Armel up against this aggression. The Fnatic's trying to respond with. He's silenced, and they kill off the SF. They'll turn towards March as TNC, they're going to get punished for that aggressive dive, trying to go in and go for DJ underneath the tower. More than enough time for Fnatic to bring in the numbers and punish both the Shadow Fiend and the IO.
That's a pretty big of a yikes play too, because it's like a level 3 Crystal Maiden that they're going for with a level 9 Shadow Fiend diving and giving up his life. That was a very risky call for TNC to try to make that aggressive move there. And they don't really gain anything. That was like a low risk, a high risk, low reward play that they actually went for to kill the Crystal Maiden. So a bit surprising to see them really push the issue past the tower there. Maybe not expecting Fnatic to TP, but yeah, Fnatic gets so much. Ice now almost level 6 off of that. A great response by them.
Well, they had a great lead off the back of the lanes, TNC. They've got to be careful not to let it slip away down to making questionable plays like this.
Yeah.
They'll try and get back on with the pressure on the mid. Tims is looking again to get an angle if anyone steps forward. Ice is being careful. He knows that they're going to want to fight, especially with Gabby showing his head in the mid lane alongside Armel. Fnatic.
This lets them, they want to be able to dive more. That's what this tells me. They really want to be able to take out this mid tower so none of these like TPs will be able to coming in out forward as far. So they can make all these aggressive plays. Doom comes out, but the Fissure is just going to split them, and that's a free disengage. That's a waste of Doom.
I mean, this is the power of TNC's lineup against the Doom. They've just got so many ways to get their teammates out of that.
Yeah.
And to make it very hard for the rest of Fnatic to follow up a Doom initiation.
11-12, or 11-22 it looked like, or 11-20. Treads, Diffusal finished up. Lifestealer, though, keeping pace, only 400 gold behind. Still really nice for 23 Savage.
And Moon is going to find Gabby. Gabby is able to jump down to the low ground. They're going to look to take the courier. They did manage to get the diffusal blade out though, Gabby, before the courier was killed off. So now Gabby can look to go on the hunt. Look to get these kills. Mid lane, setups there from Tims and jabs. He's dead.
Moon's actually just cutting the tower behind. If you see, he's doing the Edict in the tree play right now, mid. He actually just took out the whole tower. He was just sitting in the tree line. He popped Edict and just sat there while that play was happening mid. So he evenly does take out that tower. So now it was whatever. He lost his mid tower. He'll take out theirs. That's pretty huge to be able to deny that TP access. Ice. Stepped up pretty far forward.
Straight away goes for the TP out before TNC's able to look for him in the trees. Gabby just back to lane, back to farming, gets his BKB queued up. It's going to be very important to allow him to fight against this sort of Lesh CM.
These aggressive wards, really interesting positionings here by Fnatic. They're eventually going to get red, but these are a little bit unorthodox wards that we don't see too often. So they actually missed their D ward initially. Now they're going to go back. Gabby has a sentry. They're going to give it to him to just make sure that he does get that D ward. We'll see that happen a lot. You know, the Slark thing. Just give Slark sentries so he's not under vision. But we've evened out completely. That gold lead was almost a 3K plus, and we're now sitting below 1K now. Fnatic. Nice moves have recovered.
Fnatic's going to start getting back ahead. Unless TNC look for plays and find kills, 23 Savage is just going to be able to farm that a little bit faster as this life stealer with the Maelstrom. No, Gabby, he's got to find action.
It's a fighting build, so he's got to go look to make sure that those fights do happen. And yeah, slow down that Maelstrom life stealer that we've seen so often. And he does. He's starting to find him. He's starting to be a nuisance.
Very easy for Savage to get away from. He backs off. Tims was eyeing him up, but no real way to go for a play underneath the tier 2. It's far too deep for TNC to press into.
He's checking to see where he goes to the jungle, it seemed like. Yeah. But Fnatic continuing to pressure this bottom side of the map, trying to pull any attention away from the lifestealer for now.
Radiant structures are fortified.
And it really has been, 14 minutes in. It was like maybe TNC didn't quite do as much as they could have hoped for with the advantage they had off the back of the lanes. This SF has now fallen down to less than the net worth of Moon's Lesh. Moon's overtaken Armel. And even the offlaners, right? Ice, he's pretty much up there at the same value as KP after having a miserable start on the bottom lane.
Yeah, I mean, he has an easier way of just getting that natural gold built in because he's a Doom, he has Devour and Scorched Earth, some of the best farming mechanics. But that dive play in the mid really just set Fnatic back into it. Them trying to dive for that Crystal Maiden, the TP's coming in. Ice got tons of levels from it. And now, yeah, they're able to just set up for these towers because of Moon's rotations with the Edict. That opens up the map for them quite a lot. And it gives them a lot of information to see where TNC is positioned. How's Tims doing? Okay, Tims is still pretty far from the Blink Dagger, actually. He's still like 900 gold away. And it will be a Treads into Yasha into just straight up BKB on the Shadow Fiend versus this Lifestealer who can just straight up get on top of you very quickly. And we've seen what's happened with the Lashes, how quickly he can take him out. Ooh.
They try for a smoke, but DJ is just instantly in the neighborhood to dispel it.
Okay.
They prepare themselves for if TNC do continue to go for a fight. Savage hops out. Knows that with the TNC smoke being instantly dispelled, it's unlikely TNC are going to try and go aggressive. So resumes farming.
And a bounty rune, look at that, the Dream. Fnatic with a very fast farming lineup, and they also shovel that up. The Rage is popped.
I was just a little worried about maybe a Fisher coming out, but yeah. Actually, as it was, Tims wasn't even there. Tims showing down bottom, so.
TNC looks like they're going to halt a little bit of their aggression, as it is pretty hard for them to make move when Tims isn't there. And now Tims, he's getting gone on. He's a bit tanky though, and there's a reload coming in.
Got the Echo. Can Moon get this kill in time? He can't. He will lose his life for it.
Armel missed the long-range raise. He actually got Tims killed there.
And back in mid, TNC, they're not done. They're going to try and go for jabs. The Slark has been doomed. As they're leashed up as well.
He's got heals though.
He is. This Doom doing no damage whatsoever as KP's able to buff him through it. Savage goes for the Rage TP.
Doom is, I mean, we did say that the Doom was going to be dealt with pretty well in this game because of the heals that come out and also the ways to fissure split, and we're seeing that coming into play, TNC.
That makes it very hard for ISO to really go. I mean, it's just never going to feel good dooming heroes like the Slark.
No, I mean, it's always...
Unless you catch him alone or sort of separated. In these team fights, Slark is just going to turn and he's just going to continue to hit you. Gabby doesn't care about being doomed when his teammates are there to back him up.
Yeah, I think he has to actually go for the Omni Knight in a lot of scenarios. They have the double doom, so that's probably just going to be doom the target that's Grim ulted, but Tim's again.
Moon keeps finding these pickoffs on the Shaker.
Now with the haste, they have some Kyros connecting as well. Moon.
Can he get out of this? He's going to go straight for the TP. Is there TP cancelled in time?
Oh.
There is not.
Off the mark with the pounce there.
It looked like Gabby would have had the chance to line that up perfectly.
Looks like he might, but yeah, just small little maybe some small mistakes this morning, but keeping the game very even for us. We see Tims, he pre-buys his smoke. I imagine that means he has the Blink Dagger finished up any second now. Yeah, about 100 gold, even digs up a bounty rune for himself. And now it's going to be easier for TNC to actually make their own aggressive plays, because besides him, they don't really have anyone else who can actually start the fight. So it has to be Tims and Ice.
That's you.
Look at that, playing on the trees.
He's got to hold his breath a little longer. TP's not quite ready.
They scan. Tims is like, what the hell? This guy's Houdini.
Very, very nice from Mr. Ice. Off he goes.
Beautiful. And that's an important time for him to survive too, because he's now going to have the Blink Dagger, which allows you to always get the positioning to get the double dooms off in this scenario. So that was pretty huge. That was nice. Leave it to Ice. Leave it to our boy Darrow to just do some little quick plays with his feet.
We'll see that again. I mean, just perfectly moving around the edge of the vision as Tims doesn't have a clue. Expects the obvious for him to have gone a little further ahead and to slide into the bigger group of trees, but Ice makes the big brain play.
Moon constantly pushing in those side lanes, trying to get the Edict onto the tower. He's doing a great job of keeping these lanes super far pushed in.
Gabby's on the hunt, does find DJ. DJ is alone. So Gabby will finally be able to find some sort of a kill with the diffuser blade. It's taken them a bit of time to really get in and find these pickoffs because of the way that Fnatic have grouped up. But back on track to getting those extra Agi stacks built in. And TNC, they will reclaim that top outpost. Just under a minute now before that second round of the XP. And Tims, they're looking for that play, looking for that setup.
And they've got a lot going for themselves right now. That's why you see them constantly looking around, running around the map, looking for these fights, because they have that Blink Dagger, because they have these BKB finished up on Shadow Fiend, and almost a BKB finished on the Slark too. On top of the Pupil's Gift. So Pupil's Gift is nice also on this Slark, because he's a lot tankier versus this Doom and this Lesh. Right now, they've got a pretty nice positioning here, but Fnatic seems to be pretty aware.
See who makes the jump first, Gabby.
Will they get the good double Doom target?
Charging forward. Savage is going to spot them out in the river. There they are. They're going to go straight away looking for Gabby. The Doom's going to be dropped down on the SF, but he already got the BKB off, so he's good to continue to try and fight this. KP being focused. The stun will connect, but he gets the GA out in time. They turn, go straight for Moon. Tims drops down the Echo. They've lost two. Fnatic, they're going to lose Savage as well, as he cannot escape this double kill for Armel. Jabs will be able to TP out, but some great quick plays there. Armel getting the BKB off before the Doom was dropped upon him, so there was no way that Fnatic could really follow up to that on top of the Doom to kill off the SF. He was good to fight. They didn't get KP in time, able to survive, get that GA off, meaning the Fnatic, they just couldn't find the kills that they were hunting for.
And they consciously took that fight. They knew that the positioning was happening. They knew that TNC was walking up, but they didn't set up their abilities properly at all, right? They Grimstroke ulted the Omni. The Doom jumps in and dooms the SF. There just seemed to be some miscoordination coming out there from Fnatic and TNC. They were just well set up around the fight.
Oh, you see it again. Very split off at the start. Instant BKB, ready to go. And sort of once Ice has dropped the Doom at this point, all he can do is run away. Not much more than he can offer.
They just got so split up on Fnatic. And then TNC, they have so much sustain. We've talked about that with that Omni Knight, with that IO. You have to be able to try to get on top of these two and bring them down during this fight. You can't have these fights. You have to kind of end this fight pretty abruptly on the side of Fnatic. If you let these fights persist and drag out, TNC has much better fights like that.
No, you've got to, yeah, they've got to get KP out of the fight instantly.
Yeah.
If they don't kill him, he's just going to start turning things around.
Now he has a full pipe as well, so that Leshrac, a lot of the damage that Fnatic does have is going to be nullified a bit there. What neutral items did we actually get for both sides? I'm going to bring that up really quick. Okay, so Philosopher's Stone, pretty nice. Good. They didn't get the Essence Ring on the side of TNC, so I think the Fnatic's probably pretty happy that they got that one and not the opposing side. Okay.
Back to waiting for Fnatic to make another bit of a go. Holy Locket's going to be queued up for March. The BKB, as we saw, Gabby, he's very, very strong. Between that BKB and the GA, they really struggle to kill this Slark. So the only answer to that would be getting the Doom out before, but because of the counter plays that TNC have, even that doesn't feel good.
No, they have so much sustain now in the fight, so I'm actually pretty concerned with for Fnatic if they don't get like a godly jump. And the Soulbind doesn't connect, but they do get a nice Doom on the SF. Can they actually protect him with the heals?
The GA's out, the heals as well. They're trying their best to keep Armel safe. He's still alive. The tether's back there. Armel just being walked out of the fight.
Heals.
Can they kill him? They do. They finally bring down Armel. They'll look now over towards March as Fnatic this time do have the damage to bring down that SF. And now KP has been isolated from the entirety of his team. He's running deeper and deeper into the base of Fnatic. He has got a TP, but of course they've got ways to cancel it. They stun him out. KP will fall as well. Fnatic, they were able to do it. They could kill him. There was not enough saves in the tank to keep Armel alive for long enough.
Tames was nowhere in the area for them to actually protect. Armel just a bit too far forward. He just got completely isolated. They even threw every single possible heal on him, but a great Doom coming out. And that Euls from the Lesh, stopping the IO relocate right toward the end there. They actually could go through it. I thought there might be enough sustain, but they were able to actually just stay on top of him during all of it.
I mean, it took a lot, but Fnatic did just focus perfectly on the target.
He was just a bit too far forward from his team. He has to stay a little bit closer when he does make those aggressive plays forward on the Shadow Fiend. Even though he does have like BKB and stuff like that, there's still Doom. It's always going to be that until you build something like a Linken's if he does opt to go for that route, which I don't think he will.
Well, I know that Ice is pushing this lane down bottom. He's trying to stay hidden, but they're well aware that he's still hanging around.
Well, he's going to know there's a ward there. But he will definitely pay with his life as Gabby gets quite a decent amount of stacks here now too. So 9 permanent, and he has 9 for the upcoming next few moments. But yeah, now Ice is 100% aware that there's a ward down on that, that Tinker ward that we see.
Oh, there we go, BKB for Moon. So already we've seen Moon be able to position himself very nicely in the fights. He's getting a whole lot of damage out.
He's had a pretty explosive game so far. Like that laning phase looked a little bit rough, but he has really brought it back. And he's had some, like I think Cap was the one who was saying on the panel, he's had some like pretty hit or miss games lately. But this one is definitely one of those hits at the moment.
And it's becoming quite the powerful force here in this game. And he definitely is that damage that can follow up a Doom. If they get the Doom down before the BKB's out and Moon's just able to stay on top of the enemy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're going to get that kill. Regardless of how much sort of save and heals the TNC have, Moon's damage output is gonna hurt. Queuing up the Bloodstone into the Shiva's Guard.
Yep, get just a little bit tankier. He's now got the Pulse Nova damage talent too. This hero it's very good versus Slark until that Slark does start to get that BKB. You just have a very hard time just committing forward to see how much damage this hero really does do. I mean, he does have it early on, but once those do start ticking away, he does have to be careful versus Leshrac a bit. But we got Quickening Charm as well as a Telescope. Pretty decent. I mean, Telescope is always good. This item's always going to be really useful. And also Quickening Charm for Omni is also really nice. He actually does have a decent amount of slots for it.
Oh, they're going over aggressive TNC into the jungle, or at least towards it. They're on Fnatic's half of the river. Fnatic are also just hovering around the Roshan pit, making sure that they can protect and defend this area.
I love watching IO inventories. IO is literally just the I get every neutral item that nobody else wants hero. And he also has a Holy Locket too, which is
He's got some, yeah.
he's had some change-ups. People are starting to buy this item now, finally, at least on Io. Relocate to just a split push. Get that bottom lane out. They really want to play around that Roche side right now. They don't want to have to be worried about any type of split push down there. You see them even put their wards around that area, and they're all kind of sitting there too.
I mean, look at the teams at the moment. Is there a team that can take Roshan a little safer? Or is it hard for both of these squads?
TNC takes safer.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have good amount of sustain. They have a tethered Shadow. Shadow Fiend actually does damage. Like the Fnatic lineup hitting Roche is very. I mean, it's weird. Like they have Edict, they have the spells from the Lesh, which are okay, but Lifestealer, it's not the same as an SF and a Slark hitting it with a tether, and they have the sustain coming out on the side of TNC. So if they can get into that pit unnoticed, they can be able to bring it down. But
yeah, maybe once Savage gets his AC done.
Yeah, maybe.
I'll give that a little bit extra to help them go for it if they find a chance, but ideally Fnatic are going to want to take a fight before they go for that. As Ice gets the jump in. He has found the Slark and the setup's in for the Soulbind double doom. They'll move in onto both the Slark and the Omni. Tim's trying off the backup, using the fidget to split them up. But Savage, he's in on the Gabby. The heal comes out. The Gabby, he's fine. He's healed back up to half health. And now Gabby turns, jumps towards Savage. He's chasing out the Lifestealer. Armel pots the Requiem, but already Fnatic is a mile away from him, so it won't connect onto anyone. Fnatic are able to disengage. I say that Gabby has got the axe done, so he's pouncing in, jumping forward. They want to keep this fight going. They know that there's no doom to be dropped anymore by Ice, so Gabby can just full commit with the BKB. He's on to Jabs. Jabs is dead, and down towards the bottom, the rest of TNC, they're chasing for more. Gabby's able to pounce in. Moon's pot the BKB. He's got 23 Savage inside him, so has that speed, has that health. With the BKB wearing off from Gabby, Fnatic's trying to turn back onto them. They'll go for KP. The GA's out. Gabby being focused as well as March. The GA's going to wear on to Gabby. He's still finding almost. DJ tries to go for the ult, but the ult scepter cancels it immediately. 23 Savage. He's looking for that IO. He's trying to kill off March, and he gets it. March is dead. Gabby does find DJ and trade. Gabby, he's still going. The stacks, they're building up. A buyback comes into play for DJ. Gabby's onto the Lesh, moves out, and Mana is leashed up on Moon. He has the movement speed, he's running. Gabby's going to have pounce again. Gets the connection, leash in place. Double kill for Gabby, now godlike.
33 stacks.
As he's not done, Gabby wants to keep this fight going. DJ brought back for this. He's not going to live for long, or maybe with the frostbite he can. Gabby, he's got Shadow Knights back.
He's got to keep going.
Turns, kills another. That's going to be 4 dead on Fnatic. Savage is trying to TP out. He will make it away. But already an absolute slaughter fest as Gabby just cleans everybody up.
I mean, he just literally holds his ground. Look how many, I don't know, how many times did he get Heavenly Graced in the fight, right? I'm pretty sure KP casted it on him every single time. Even when the Omni's starting to die, he knows what his job is. He's like, with my dying breath, I will make sure that I get the Heavenly Grace off onto my Gabby. So look at this, KP's getting chased. He's like, whatever. As long as I Heavenly Grace Gabby, he's gonna be able to stick inside of the fights. And look at these heals coming out. He just gets fully popped up from the mech time and time again inside of this one. And it all starts out because KP, he gets the Heavenly Grace off onto the Slark before the initial Doom earlier in this fight. So that means that because of status resistance, the Doom ticks faster. So Gabby's allowed to actually get into the front lines and be that really obnoxious Slark throughout the entirety of the fight.
And Gabby just reading the situation perfectly, knows that he can stay fully aggressive. He sees that, he feels the momentum. Once those stacks start to build up, he knows that there's nothing that Fnatic can do to stop him, just tearing through them one by one. He's continuing to have a flawless performance on his Slark. Yet to die this game, back on mid. Oh, hang on. He's got the Aegis and has got the BKB. So that's the Aegis gone. See if they can kill him a second time. Armel has to put the BKB. They'll turn towards him. They have to. Gabby, he needs backup. And he's going to get the backup in time. Marge comes in with the tether, relocate, takes him back to base, keeps him healed up. He is going to come back here. Well, that is if TNC want to keep this fight going. Yule's up, Requiem starts to push away. Fnatic, Savage, still trying to poke at a target. They're going to be bringing the Slark back in soon, and here he is. Gabby has returned, and he's looking for blood. He jumps in, able to catch off Jabs with another massive pounce. And he's up to the high ground. Gabby, he's hunting. He knows that the BKB's already been used by Moon. Shadow Knight's used as the stun connects. Gabby turns towards the tower. Savage, he's trying to fight this. They silence Gabby, but again, the sustain, the heals from March. Gabby is constantly sitting at full HP. The tier 3 tower's falling. TNC, they're eyeing up the barracks. as Fnatic, they're only down one member, but the 4 heroes, they don't seem to be able to do anything to stop this. They're just letting TNC take the barracks.
They don't have their Doom. They don't have their Grimstroke ult. Their BKBs are on cooldown. On the side of TNC, they still have their big things available. Sure, Requiem is down, Shadow Dance is down, but GA is up and Echo Slam is up, so they know how confident they are. They know how strong they are at the moment going up into this high ground.
Everybody's up now for Fnatic. What can they do? Savage tries to lead in quickly with a disarm, but it just goes off so quickly. That Heavenly Grace keeping Gabby so strong. Another tier 3, a second set of racks in trouble. If Fnatic have anything, they've got to use it now. As the racks are going, there's nothing that they seemingly are able to do. Moon's trying to come in on the backlines, go for the backliners, but Gabby, he's just straight in. He's under tier 4s, he's on to Jabs, the bash is there, Jabs is dead. They cannot stop the Slark. Gabby goes wherever he wants, and he takes whatever he pleases.
There's just way too much backup for this Gabby Slark. He has everything in the world just buffing him up, be it the IO, the Guardian Angel, just so many different aspects, making him so much stronger. Whew. What is, I mean, it's, I don't want to pull it up, but like the support scores are real rough on the side of Fnatic this game. Both of them is sitting 0-7 because of how out of hand this Slark gets.
And here comes Gabby again.
It happens as a support.
Oh, poor old DJ, the Fisher stops the ultimate. Gabby, he's just gonna, he wants to dive. He's gonna play it sense, but there's still tier 1s and tier 2s on this lane, so they'll go for the objectives.
He'll jump over the tier 2 and, take a look at that tier 1 for a moment. And he's, oh, look at this, I love it. The Basher, and he's got the Moon Shard queued up.
I mean,
Why not?
He's not dying. He's not dying, so the quicker that he can build up the stats and have the chance for the Bashers, that's the way to go. Attack speed is all he needs to build.
It gives him some nice night vision too, Actually, a lot of night vision as they keep buffing what Moonshard gives, of course.
Gabby sweeping over. They are starting to head out Fnatic, but Gabby, he's found Moon. Moon has to put the BKB, the bash in place. Tim's getting on top. The Soulbind in the double doom is there, but Gabby, he does not care. His BKB's already out. He's got the buff up from KP as well with the GA. He's just at full health. They cannot do anything to harm this Slark, as Moon will fall dead for 90 seconds without buyback. Ice trying to take Savage back to safety, but another pounce from Gabby up to the high ground. Ice will fall. Gabby beyond godlike, and he's not done yet. Jams is dead. GG is caught. They want to get themselves the hell away from this Slark as TNC take game 1. The Slark draft far too strong for Fnatic to deal with. This Slark with that amount of sustain and save, Gabby was set up for success, and he made the most of it. He made it look easy. It wasn't necessarily, but his aggression, it's just what you love to see from him.
Yeah, they got so much out of the lanes is the big thing for me. Like KP, he's like level 7 so early in this game. He is able to farm himself these big items that allows him to kind of be in the front line, but also get his spells off onto the Slark every single time. Very well executed by the boys on TNC. 16-0-6 on that Slark. Pretty flawless game with that backup from the rest of his team.
I mean, I feel like Fnatic's going to do everything in their power to make sure that in the second game draft, that's not going to happen again, right? I doubt we're going to see TNC get away with this core plus 2 very, they're the top tier heroes in terms of saving. Omni and I, you don't really get much better than that.
Especially versus a hero like Doom, right? It just seemed like the perfect solution to Ice's Doom, to the point where he was just trying to find these opportunities, but it was counteracted.
Well, we'll see how Fnatic fix those draft problems in game 2. As it stands, TNC taking game 1 very confidently. We'll see you soon.